Hello folks and welcome to another daily Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Today I will provide an initial comment. I will talk about two different topics. Topic number one, people are demanding more stuff. That's something we will talk, more stuff related to my daily analysis, more stuff that they are demanding from me, making arguments that let me laugh a little bit. It's funny. We will talk about that. The second one is Hong Kong. Watchdogs and what certain people out there on Twitter are spreading. We will talk about that. We are not going to blame anyone. We will talk about seriously and we will put some facts on the table. Make your own conclusion. If you think that's bullish, oh my dear, then go and sell your whatever, your soul, and invest your soul in crypto, because then it's extremely bullish. If you think, okay, the facts from Inspo are not that wrong, then you should be careful, because I think they just started to spread this, in my opinion, wrong narrative. Another wrong narrative. But let us start with what some followers are demanding. Since last week, where I had this really awesome stream with Mr. Gone, many Spanish guys started to follow me. First of all, muchísimas gracias por seguirme, la verdad. Estoy muy encantado con esto. But stop demanding a Spanish version of my analysis. I will explain you why. Who is Inspo? Inspo is a guy that works full-time every day. 8 to 10, sometimes even 12 hours in a day. Inspo is creating and building a new crypto project, Phoenicia. Many of you know about Phoenicia, and I'm extremely in delay because of my lack of time. At the same time, and you remember how the whole Substack thing started last year? That was in 22. More than 1 year, to be honest. I have started January 11th, 2022, after a lot of my followers said, hey Inspo, you are doing such an amazing work. Can I make any kind of donation just to support you? And then they started use Substack or different applications to make it real. Well, I started with Substack and it was bigger than expected, to be honest. I mean, it's not big. It's not even going to pay my bills, but or at least my subscriptions related to on-chain analysis. I can cover all these costs. Everything else is for free. All the time I'm spending every time here is for free. Everything I'm spreading and sharing on Twitter is for free. Even my analysis, my daily one, is covering 80% of the paid one is for free. I have mentioned so many times, the paid subscription has a donation character. But since mid of last year, my free subscribers are pushing up extremely hard, while my paid subscribers are dumping. 30% since last year in July. I didn't say anything because of that, because it's fine. You know, I'm doing it because I like it and, you know, why not? I can do it. Sometimes it's pain in the ass. For example, right now, where I would like to spend all this time in Phoenicia instead, but I'm doing it because many of you, sometimes I think you depend on my daily analysis. When I take off, many are DM me and asking, hey, I need your analysis. So I'm doing it mainly for you, not for me. I don't need that. I'm not even trading. I was doing a daily analysis because I was trading. I'm not even trading at the moment. However, everything is fine, but you are still demanding. You are demanding a text version because your English skills are not well. Okay, I'm sorry for you. You are demanding a Spanish version because your English is not good enough. Okay, I'm sorry for you. And your arguments to say, yeah, but you will get much more followers. Okay, but I don't care. I never cared. I think Inspo is maybe the only one on Twitter who never cared about his followers count or YouTube subscribers. Never. Because, I'm not making money with that. It's not going to cover all costs I have every day. You don't want to know what my client has to pay for 1 hour of my time. So stop demanding, because if you keep demanding things, I will stop. I will reduce my free content. It's not in your favor. Stop with that. It's really pain in the ass for me. Stop with that. Take it like it is. I have every single day, when I tweet my daily analysis, I have a link there. It's from a friend of mine. He developed an AI that's just using the whole YouTube video and converting the whole video in a text version. Take the text version, let it convert in text, and then translate it, for example, with Google, in Spanish. Where's the problem? But no, you are lazy and you are saying, please make it for me. No, I'm not going to do it. Forget that. So please stop doing it. Stop demanding it. With Phoenicia, a lot of things will change. We will make it better. Much better. Better information. We will talk more about options, about correlations and other assets, and so on and so forth, monetary policy, geopolitical one. We will also provide a weekly report that's going to be a big one. All these related to Phoenicia, but Phoenicia is not live. Not yet. We are working on it. That's why I didn't share the roadmap yet. Because we are delaying and delaying and delaying. That's really pain in the ass. Even it's my priority. So please stop demanding. Okay? You would make me a big favor. So now let us go and talk about this here. China banned Bitcoin at 60k in April 2021. Then China let Hong Kong buy Bitcoin at 17k in 2023. Phew. That was from today. Even CoinDesk says no, Hong Kong won't be allowing retail traders access to crypto on June 1st. A tweet suggesting the city will make crypto fully legal for all citizens is misreading of the legislation or just fooling retailers once again. So if we take, for example, just what the legislation is saying at the moment is, while the situation may change later, maybe, because it depends on the central government in China. Okay? Okay? For the time being, the best framework for licensing exchanges, which just finished a multi-year consultation, allows them to provide access only to accredited professional investors. Retail investors are excluded. I think that's really clear. That's really clear. Yeah, just few. You are right. Just few. Just few. But once again, why? Why is Hong Kong doing it? Why? Why now? Is that the price? Because we have a bigger dip and now Hong Kong is bullish on Bitcoin, a complete decentralized asset? while Hong Kong depends on China that don't like decentralized assets? Is that the point? Well, I think it's a different one. Hong Kong had a long history. Many know, for example, Hong Kong before of end of the 90s. Hong Kong was one of the hub of the global financial sector. If you wanted to make some career as investor, Wall Street trader, whatever, Hong Kong was one of the top addresses. And of course, I mean, you know, before the financial crisis, end of the 90s, for example, Hong Kong was spreading. A lot of people, a lot of liquidity just went to Hong Kong. Hong Kong was growing. That was one of the main, like London, for example, of the main global hubs of the financial sector. But then, beginning in 2019, people began to leave. 93,000 in 2019, another 23,000 in 2020. As a percentage of the population, it was little more than a trickle. But this year, the trickle has become a steady stream. In the first quarter of 2022 alone, more than 140,000 people left Hong Kong. When people leave a city like Hong Kong, also means that also the money is leaving this city. And for China, Hong Kong is still the door to the West. So if, for example, a big Western company is going to invest, for example, China, they prefer to go to Hong Kong instead directly to Shanghai. So do you really think that China is going to allow, after they banned crypto just last year, to China mainland? I mean, we are talking about now a little bit more than 1 year. Do you really think that China is going to flip and to allow again all retailers to buy crypto and to avoid any kind of centralized policy related to their monetary goals? If so, guys, I'm sorry, but then you deserve it. Really, then you deserve it. I would be extremely careful with such kind of narratives, like Wall Street was spreading the soft landing, the pivot, and so on and so forth. I would be extremely careful with that. Always, I have mentioned so many times, always make your questions and try to answer them. If you can't answer them, then ignore these narratives. If you can answer them and they are positive, means you can confirm what they are saying, then it's cool. If not, if they are wrong, you know they try to fool. Okay? So that's for today, I think, enough initial comment. Big love, and we will go on to the next chapter. So let us take a look to the weights ratio, and as you can see, the weights ratio 30 days moving average bounced here and is pushing up hard. Once again, that's crazy. That's really crazy. I didn't expect that, but yes, 1, 2, 3 times just in February in 2 weeks. That's crazy, but also indicating it was a preparation for a bigger distribution, and it seems that's what they are doing at the moment. So we will take a look. I mean, doesn't mean, hey, that's it, we will nuke from here. It's possible. I would be careful, but maybe they are distributing here just, to convert the BTC and cash and then push up the price afterwards again. The problem I see here is that retail is not following this time. I've tweeted about that today as well. We will talk about that later on, because, they will only push up if they can find demand. If they can't find demand, they will not push up, because then the risk to push up the price, for them to push up the price as an investment, They invest because they know they can sell and unload spot. If they can't, so imagine they spend 1 billion to push up to 30K, and retail is saying, yeah, well, but I'm done here, so I'm not going to buy. So they are there, and oops, that's it. So they are not going to do it. And that matches very well to the trading volume ratio, spot versus derivative, provided by CryptoQuant. We will take a look to that. So, however, it doesn't look like they want just to stop distributing here. If we take a look to the 30 hours moving average, once again, looks absolutely different. Absolutely different. And I mean, you remember how many times, I mean, we had here 90%. Even here, for example, 88. And here, all the time, a very high one. You remember that here? So afterwards, we pushed down very hard. It's not happening anymore. Every time when we are close to 86, they stop. Every time. Because I guess they know, hey, if we push the price, if we sell more, it will have an impact to the price. Means the price will go down. And that's something when you are distributing and you want, for example, distribute an upper price, it's not what you want, right? So it seems it's always the same. Even this time, it went up much more. I mean, this time it was 86.6, last time was almost 86 here as well, and usually afterwards the price goes down. So that's why I'm also expecting the price goes down. However, we can also see that stablecoin reserves on centralized exchanges lifted up a little bit, indicating also fresh money to push up the price, and that's what they did. Related to Bitcoins and the net flow, more green than red, but absolutely not big. We are not even talking about a net flow bigger than 500 here, for example. So really, really tiny. Let us go to the next chapter. So also here, for example, look all of that. Look that. I mean, that's big. That's really big. However, let us take a look to the daily one, if we can find something, because the daily one is very interesting when it comes to see, for example, where are the gaps. For example, I can see here we received February 10th, so 10 days ago. It was 6 billions in stablecoins, but at the same time 5 billions 870 millions outflow, so indicating we had a gap of almost 200 millions or something, and that's what they used to push up more the price. While of course they had some stablecoins there as well. However, I'm not going to talk about stablecoins right now. We can see the Bitcoin inflows, and that's the most interesting part. So for example here, if I take a look, we can see 15,129 Bitcoins arrived and 15,000 Bitcoins left. For example here, 13,840 or almost 13,850 Bitcoins flowed in, and only 11,100 Bitcoins left. If we go forward, here the opposite, 6,800 Bitcoins went in and 77, for example, went out. If we go forward, 3-4 in, 4-4 out, 4-3 in, 3-6 out, and so on and so forth. And why it's important? Because if you want, for example, to see if these guys are preparing a dump or something, the gap should be bigger. You know, so usually you have a bigger net flow in favor of inflows than an outflows. Means they are not selling everything. And in my opinion, that's happening, but the gap is not big. Also, the Bitcoin reserves on centralized exchanges, they are lifting up, but we are talking just about a difference of maybe 6,000 Bitcoins. That's not big. However, with low volume, it is big. And it seems at the moment they love the weekends. They love, for example, today, Washington birthday in the US. It's a holiday, low volume. So let the price push up again. And that's what they are doing. If we take a look, for example, here we had almost 5,000 bitcoins inflow. Afterwards, we had 2,800 bitcoins outflow. Where is the remaining 3,000? We can't see them. We really can't see them. So it seems something is in the air. Also here, for example, 660 bitcoins inflow, 350 outflow, and so on and so forth. They are not selling everything. Also means, hey, I'm not talking about from here flash crash to 15K, but 23.5 maybe. That's something we need to check today. So if I enable, for example, stablecoins again, you will see stablecoins almost, relatively here, bigger gaps, but we are talking about peanuts, few millions. And we will take a look on sentiment where we can have a better view where are the stablecoins coming from. Obviously not from BUSD, because tomorrow Paxos is going to stop issuing BUSD. So it's over for BUSD on Binance in general. But at the same time, Tether is taking over and USDC. By the way, some people are saying, yeah, but USDC is not in risk because, USDC, BlackRock is big on USDC. I don't know if BlackRock is big in USDC. As I know, the only thing that BlackRock is doing is not buying USDC. They are just holding USDC. Holding means for customers, for their clients. But I mean, they did a loss of over $1 trillion last year with clients' money. You think they would care? Well, if you think, why not? Keep thinking it. We are done here. Let us go forward. So also here, once again, what they are indicating once again, and let us take a look. Let us start with the funding rate. Funding rate pushed up, declined a lot, and pushed up, and now it seems it won't decline. Okay, now leverage ratio. And the leverage ratio at the moment is even the most important indicator in my opinion. Pushed up, price pushed up. Declined, price declined. Pushed up more. The price didn't push up, not that big, indicating nobody was here just trying to push up the price, at least in short term. That's what we see here, for example. That's what we see here, for example. That's where someone pushed up very hard with, a little bit of open interest, but mainly with leverage. Afterwards, leverage declined, and now leverage is pushing up once again, indicating leverage ratio correlates with the price. And the most interesting part is when it comes about to big candles, like we had in the past, for example. That's where they are using high leverage to push up more because of the notional volume. However, open interest, for example, if we take a look, open interest is in a positive trend, declined a lot. They killed some late longs or high leverage longs and now pushing up again. So if we take a look now, what is happening to stablecoins and derivative exchanges? Absolutely nothing. We are talking here 5 million, so absolutely nothing, only related to bitcoins. If we take a look here, for example, we had 1,300 bitcoins outflow. That was this morning, while 840 bitcoins inflow. Then afterwards, 1,500 bitcoins inflow. and 800 bitcoins outflow, and so on and so forth. Here once again 1400 bitcoins inflow and 800 bitcoins outflow. If we check here, we can see it's the net flow is indicating green, green, green. If we check, for example, here, hello, we can see it's almost red, 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 red. So let us go to the next chart, and where we also see the aggregated open interest, and we can see it's a positive trend. Also the leverage ratio is positive, not rising as much as the open interest. And if we take a look, for example, here, that's the funding rate indicating they are just longing and longing and longing and longing. That's what's happening. They are demanding more longs all the time. So if we take a look, for example, here, what happened yesterday. Yesterday, they almost liquidated 600 bitcoins in longs and 440 in shorts. And the day before, 125 in longs and 170 in shorts. That's it. So absolutely nothing. Peanuts. Binance, okay. And let us take a look, for example, here to blockchain whispers. I don't know why these guys are always changing my chart color. On Binance, it seems they are flipping to shorts, while, for example, not the same on Bitfinex. At the same time, on Bitfinex, they are even pushing more in longs, 2.6 billion. And if we take a look, for example, here, only 1.3 billion on Binance. The big question is why the longs on Bitfinex are rising more and more. And usually that happens when Bitfinex whales are starting to sell spot and they hedge with low leverage long. However, if we take a look now to the Kingfisher map, let us take a look there. Give me the all leverage first. And we can see here, we have now again 120 millions, indicating, wow, you remember just a few days ago, Friday, 60 millions, now almost the double on the short side. That means that someone is now with low leverage, really low leverage, is now pushing, or once is preparing maybe a push down. I mean, we have here almost 100 million in liquidation cluster. So are all retailers having a signal channel where they discuss and say, you know, I'm going to use exactly the same leverage like you because we need a big liquidation cluster on the Kingfisher? No, usually when that happens and you have 100 million at the same price level, it seems it's just one single entity making such a big bet. At the same time, we have on the long part also here 60 millions. It's not the same like 100 millions, however. So if we take a look now to the high leverage, I guess on the short side once again, let us take a look. Wow. If we take a look now, high leverage declined a lot. Last Friday, if I'm not wrong, it was 60 millions. Now we have 12 millions. So, but also here means we should go down hitting, for example, 24,200. It's just $600 away. Or if we keep liquidating the high leverage shorts, then we need to go up more to 25,300. That's $500 away. So up and then down, possible. That's it. Let us go to the next chapter. So then let us take a look what's happening here. For example, we have different CBDs. We have, for example, that's the first one. That's the Bitcoin BTC USDT CBD, indicating they are pushing up. Since here they pushed up by almost, I would say 3,000 Bitcoins. Yeah, almost. If we take a look, for example, here we have only BTC USDT Binance, because what does it mean, 3,000 Bitcoins, right? Well, it means they spent today only 80 millions. That's not bad. That's really not bad. If we take a look, for example, here, the aggregated CBD spot only for BUSD, for example, yeah, I mean, that's incredible, but someone is still using BUSD. They moved the price almost 18 millions here using BUSD. But the most interesting part here is USD is not doing it. It's not following it. So if we take a look, for example, here, it's not big at all. I mean, they pushed up, for example, that was the peak, 24.2 million, and now we are down 10 million, so means 40 millions more sales with fiat than purchased or ever. If we take a look to, for example, coin margin contracts, so futures with Bitcoin collateral, for example, they went up and they are now coming back to its starting point at 31 million. Right now we are at 44, so just almost 10 million. A little bit more. Wait. Yeah, 70 million. However, if we take a look, of course, for example, stablecoin collateral futures, we had here 1,483 billion and now 1.96 billion, indicating a gap, a delta of 500 millions. This time at least we can see that the ratio between spot and derivative is not that wide. Like, for example, we had just a few days ago when we pushed up to 25K. So also interesting. Let us go forward. And now we have, we can see here the BUSD on Binance, but who cares, right? If we take a look, for example, that's once again, okay, I need to close one. It doesn't make sense to show both times Binance BTC USDT. Bitfinex would match to what I have said. They are hedging their sold spot with a long, even if it's a leverage of 1. So here also indicating they are selling more than buying. If we take a look, for example, on Bitget, Bitget was distributing all the way and started here to push up once again. Like the aggregated. The aggregated is also doing exactly the same. The aggregated went up from 100 million to 180 million, so 80 million. 80 million aggregated CBD with all different pairs, USD, BUSD, USDT. And if we take a look, I mean, 80 millions and futures did almost 500 millions. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Means just spot is doing 20% of the whole volume. If we take a look, Coinbase pushing up and now reducing, also indicating here they're distributing. If we take a look here, for example, Bitstamp up only. If we take a look to Kraken, up only, and then they started to decline, as you can see here. And last but not least, Gemini not doing anything. They are maintaining. However, it's not big in volume. Now let us go forward and check what these guys are doing here. So let us go here. I need just to, and prepare something. So retailers declining their balances, and that's what I said. They pushed up, but retailers are not following at the moment. This guy's here maintaining, reduced, and now maintaining. This guy's here maintaining. This guy's here pushing up. This guy's here reducing. This guy's here lifting up a little bit. Well, and this guy's here, it's just for wallets. However, so not seeing anything special here. Only, for example, these guys here, those who own 100 to 1000 Bitcoin wallets, they lifted up while the price lifted up. So indicating, can we see how much? 3.9, almost something like between 5,000 and 10,000 Bitcoins. So we can see, for example, here that's wallet count, not their balances in Bitcoin, just wallet count. And the wallet count here is indicating that since we pushed up, since here, they started to reduce, meaning that would be here, for example, the next follow entity, indicating if they are reducing a lot and they are pushing up, means okay, so right now these guys are shifting to the next entity, but it's not the case. So also indicating retailers at the moment not really buying. If we take a look, for example, right now here, we can see BUSD. Well, what should I say? BUSD, you can see here almost nothing yellow, so indicating only outflows. And it makes sense, because if Paxos is going to stop issuing BUSD, it makes sense just to send BUSD back to Paxos. But at the same time, for example, today we received here 23 millions in USDT, and afterwards we pushed up. Then, well, the net flow, I would say it's almost neutral. We had outflows, inflows at the same time. Now, here, for example, we received 4.5 millions in USDT to centralized exchanges, while 2.72 million went out, indicating a gap in favor of inflows. So also here afterwards the price pushed up. And now let us take a look, for example, what USDC is doing. USDC was very, very active today. So also here indicating 60 million, another 12 million, another 20 million or 90 million. And finally, and that was the last bigger one, was here 22 million to push up the price afterwards. And if we take a look, for example, here was the last yellow activity, indicating 6.4 millions went to centralized exchanges, while only 4 millions went out, indicating, hey, we will push up once again afterwards. And that's what they did. Right now, they are just taking profit a little bit, but 5 million outflow and just 860,000 inflow, so nothing big. Well, GUSD, well, it's nothing. Let us go forward. Fund flow related to Bitcoin and market maker. Let us take a look here. And at the moment, nothing. I mean, they sent here almost 2,000 Bitcoins, and yeah, so, but nothing big happening. 112 Bitcoins just last hour, another 180 Bitcoins here, so absolutely nothing. Then we can see here who is driving a little bit the price. That's the waste ratio related to every single centralized exchange. The problem we have here, for example, is unfortunately, I can't split derivative exchange from spot exchange and then select a certain exchange. Unfortunately, CryptoQuant does offer this option that will be incredible. So it's a combination of future and spot, and that makes the whole thing here a little bit, yeah, not that easy, to be honest. Only for Coinbase, for example, because we know that Coinbase doesn't have any kind of derivatives. So if we check, that's yellow, and it was indicating, for example, that whales on Coinbase was very active February 18th, so 2 days before, and then afterwards, the day afterwards, so for example, yesterday we went down. So at the same time, for example, the same did Kraken, at the same time, the same did Bitfinex, at the same time, the same did Gemini, at the same time, the same did Bitstamp. Yeah, well, it's, you know, I don't know. That's how the market works. It is what it is. Yeah, so here nothing special. Funds still not rising their holdings, even the price is going up, so it seems that institutional demands is not coming back at the same time, and that's what I also tweeted. You can see that still a lot of futures. I mean, it makes sense. We are still talking about, whoa, what happened now? We still see, I mean, when we are talking that only stablecoin futures are generating 500 millions in CBD in 1 hour. Not in 1 hour. In how much? That was since that was today midnight. Well, in 17 hours. Sorry, in 17 hours. I was a little bit lost right now. So in 17 hours, they generated a CBD just with futures and stablecoins of 500 millions, while the aggregated spot CBD was only 18 millions. Yes, that makes sense. That makes sense, and it's indicating here trading volume ratio spot versus derivative makes 0.4479. Well, I don't know if it's exactly the same, but however, if we take a look, for example, it went even more down, indicating 0.37. So yeah, more futures, more futures. Low volume at the same time, you know, so yeah, I would be careful here. But also here, not indicating the same we had here, for example. You remember the whole initiation of this rally at 17K went up to 21, and then they stopped. And then spot started to push up. So the question is, makes that sense? So you're pushing the price up with futures to buy yourself then at 20,000. So you missed the dip. You prefer to use futures. You missed the dip for what? What was your purpose? So usually, and that's my interpretation, they used the price to push up. They bought here some dips, and then of course they pushed up with futures and they started to distribute here, and then that's where they triggered FOMO to retailers and they started to buy, and that's why futures declined and the spot volume started to lift up. And then, of course, that was February 12th at the price of 21,800. They started again to use futures, and that's where we are right now. Yeah, I would say that's it. Let us go to the next chapter. So let us take a look to the walls here on Coinbase. Nothing changed. We just have here at 23,700 now a wall, and the next bigger one to the upside would be at 27, and of course we have at 30, at 40, at 50, at, well, I think at 1 million someone will also play something. But yeah, that's what's happening on Coinbase. Bitstamp, BTC USD. They are waiting here right now at 25 to 70 or to 60 would match to the gamma wall. At the same time also waiting here 26 and so on and so forth. But nothing else to the current or close to the current price. If we take a look, for example, to BTC USDT pair on Binance, looks a little bit different. First of all, we have a wall at 25 to 80, another wall 25 50, and they are at the moment once again, and that's what they did several times already. They did it here once, triggered, refilled, triggered, refilled, triggered, refilled. So it's going to be the 5th time or so, and that's a clear signal of distribution. They are always and pushing up and pushing up and pushing up and just triggering this. Now someone could say, that's bullish. They need Bitcoin because, you know, we have limited supply, just 21 million Bitcoin. So they are looking, yeah, come on. They are really looking for? No, obviously not. But they are pushing with futures again and again and again, hitting this supply level. That's what I see here. and at the same time protecting now this area until 25.5. Of course, also here at any, I mean, we can go, I guess, to 50k and we will find some orders. Then 23.500, 23.500, also here 23.800, but the next big one will be a 21.800 afterwards, and so on and so forth. So they are still, you know, they removed some liquidity, but then they placed here at 17k. Who knows? Who knows? But at the moment they are protecting. They don't want to let the price go up more, or someone is just unloading. So let us go forward. BTC USD on Binance, BTC BUSD on Binance. Well, what should I say? I mean, yeah, I don't know. What will happen tomorrow with all these BUSD? I mean, what will happen with them? I really don't know. Is Binance going to swap them in fiat? I really don't know. However, BTC USD on Bitfinex. Also here, for example, also the same. They are waiting here between 25.250 and 25.500 at the moment. Also doing the same, refilling. If the price push more up, they are selling. They are selling, and not less. I mean, we are even talking more than Binance, for example. But we need to be, when it comes to Bitfinex, extremely careful with spoofing. As you can see, do you see how they are? That's the unique exchange. I know they allow that. It's pure algo trading what they are doing there. It's pure spoofing, and it's for me. I never have trade on Bitfinex, and if that's going to be the only centralized exchanges on earth where I can trade crypto, oh, that will be sad. It will break my heart, but that's it. I will never ever again trade crypto, because never I will trade on Bitfinex. BTC USDT on OKEX, nothing. Well, the swap, we still have a swap here, 17k, still waiting. Kraken BTC USD, they are here, for example, that's the biggest order, 23,600. Otherwise, also waiting here, 27. Bitget BTC USD, nothing. Bitget BTC USDT, nothing. BitMEX waiting here, 22,500, and to the upside nothing big, at least 27. But and now futures, BTC USDT perp, they are waiting here, for example, at 25.250. So gamma wall, but at the same time, look, that's a big bunch of volume waiting for to short. They had the same here to long. Now they are doing the same here to short. Interesting. I would then expect, okay, go up afterwards a little bit, you know, kill all these late shorts and then go down. If we take a look BTC BUSD on futures, we just have here, for example, maybe 200 Bitcoins also at 25,250. Bitfinex derivatives only here, for example, at 25,500, and the next big one would be at 28, and that's it. To the downside, we have here 23,600 and here 23,300. Kraken futures, for example, we have here 24,700. It seems a wall protecting it on Kraken, and that's it. So too long, of course. OKEX futures, for example, here, nothing. Not really, no. BTC perpetual for Deribit, also interesting. They want to short, for example, here 27. They want to short at 30. They want to short at 32. They want to short, wow, let us take a look. 40k. Oh, let us go a little bit more up. So the last one, 44. 44 would be the last one. So we have some people, they are expecting we go to 44,000 and then they will, yeah, I don't know. If that's the case, nobody knows what's behind. If these guys use these shorts buying, so they buy spot and they short at the same time. So the same what Bitfinex is, in my opinion, doing, just the opposite way. Not selling spot and hedging with a long, but in that time, in that case, buying spot and hedging with a short. Also could be possible. However, and that's it from here. Let us go to the next chapter.